Hey guys, it's me, the American, and today I have the Ontario M9 Bayonet, trusted by the United States military for the M16 family of firearms. Slashing with this knife is, it's doable. It really just doesn't feel right. It's about 1.7 pounds. It's a little hefty, but it gets the job done. As a general purpose knife, so far it has impressed me. After all that slashing, let's go ahead and see if the factory edge is still good. I'm going to go ahead and cut this aged piece of wood right here, and I'm going to shave it so that way I can make some tinder. Just what I expected. The Ontario M9 has not let me down yet. As you all may know, the M9 Bayonet has a saw-like distinction up here up top. Now, internet forums, websites say that it is capable of cutting through, wood pieces. So we'll go ahead and put it to the test. Remember guys, safety first. Well, it was able to cut a notch into the wood, but to be honest, to saw completely through this would take forever, really. Not very effective. If you need a cutting tool, I suggest a pocket saw or a sawzall. Alright, let's go ahead and see how quickly we can get through this 2x6 with the edge portion of the blade. And remember, safety first, guys. Now, to be honest, this blade is a little thick, but its chopping abilities are kind of marginal. It is doable, but it'll take a while to chop through a 2x6 especially. If I had a 2x4 here, it would take a good, maybe 5 minutes to get through it. But to be honest, you should be using a hatchet or an axe for a job like this. Stepping away from urban construction items, I went ahead and I picked out about 1 1/4 inch thick piece of limb off of one of the trees in the back. We'll go ahead and demonstrate in a forest or jungle environment to see how quick it can chop through about 1 1/4 to 1 1/2 inch thick piece of tree. Safety first, everybody. And there you have it, folks. For a survival type of situation, this blade is actually very useful for chopping smaller limbs such as this. The sheath also doubles as a wire cutter. See here, we can cut wire. Now there's a very small notch here, so the strand has to fit inside of that notch between the blade and the notch to be able to cut. Now I have some 2-strand communications wire down here, and we will see how efficient it is. Perfect. Extremely efficient for the tactical operator. Now we move on to phase 2 of the Ontario M9 testing. Here I have a concrete block, and what this test is going to demonstrate is the edge holding ability of the knife. The 420 high carbon, it's a pretty tough steel. I mean, that stuff is really, really tough. So we'll go ahead and see how well of an edge it holds after, I have not sharpened this knife, after it impacts the knife at a standard swing that I can create, and then I will cut this lime right after I demonstrate the test. Now remember, safety first. As you can see, from the factory, the edge is not necessarily that sharp. It's a bayonet, yes, but it doesn't really require an extremely sharp edge to cut an object, because this is going to be on the end of a rifle. Now I had to pretty much saw with the edge to cut through the line, but it's, you know, it is doable. It did hold the edge, albeit not that well, but in reality, you could sharpen this and it would probably perform a lot better, because the factory sharpness is about a 25-degree angle. This is a red paver brick used in driveways, sidewalks. Now I'm going to go ahead and test the spine of the knife, the strength of the spine. This test, a little controversial, but I like to do it. Safety first, my friends. And there you have it. You can't break the spine on this knife. Now let's go ahead and step it up a notch. Let's see how long it takes to get through this cinder block. Safety first, my friends. There you have it. M9 Ontario, built to last. Phase 3 is the final phase of testing. We'll be demonstrating the pierceability of this tip. Very sharp still, very good. Even after all of the tests that I've done, the tip is actually in very good condition. So now, the first test will be penetrating through this small propane tank. Now remember guys, safety first. Yep, still razor sharp. Stepping up the test a little bit, we have some thicker gauge steel here. An ammunition box designed to hold 50 caliber rounds or any type of other ammunition that the military can think of. Alright guys, remember, safety first. A lot tougher. That tip is still razor sharp. And look at that tip. There's no breakage. There's no type of deformation at all. I mean, it's still razor sharp. It's pulling on my skin. That's a good indication that it is keeping that sharpness. Now look at this box over here. Look at that damage. I mean, that is some serious steel here. This might be a stainless steel, but to be honest, it's a high carbon stainless steel. And there you have it, folks. It is as strong as a knife should be. It can carry my weight, which is 180 pounds, and it has lived to tell the tale of tales as the strongest bayonet in the world. Now remember guys, when I bury the knife in the tree, check it out. It's buried in horizontally, not vertically, because vertically makes it very strong, but horizontally puts a lot of stress right there on that hilt. I try to test it so you don't have to. Alright, that's the end of the test, and it passed with flying colors. The only test that I wasn't too impressed with was the sharpness test. You see, bayonets, they usually don't come that sharp because they're not really meant to be used as an all-purpose knife. It's just meant to be used as a bayonet. But if you had the time, you could sharpen it up yourself and make a very nice survival knife or go-to knife in case if you need one. Well, for sure, this knife test, the Mayor approved, definitely passed the test. You can find these on Amazon for about $100. Local market around 110, around there. But I'll tell you what, it's one solid knife, and the added benefit of having a wire cutter. Alright guys, well, that's the Mayor. Remember the 4th of July, remember everything that happened on this day, and remember our independence. On top of that, that's the Mayor, and thanks for watching. And I test this stuff right here, so you don't have to.